Welcome back everyone to our Let's Play of Zelda Outlands. When we last left off, Chloe had just re-entered level C, which maybe's level Chloe. This time she's entering with the 8 Tetrarch fairies, which means that she'll be able to do a lot of exploration in the dungeon. However, we won't be able to complete the dungeon entirely this run. It's a pretty long dungeon. It's going to take 2 parts, just like the dungeon in the first quest. Now, before entering this dungeon for the big foray, we want to make sure we have 2 keys. If you've gotten all the keys from the previous dungeons, you'll have those 2 extra keys. And those 2 extra keys, along with 4 keys that we're going to find in this dungeon, will allow us to end up getting the skeleton key, the eternal key, I guess, the magic key that never runs out. And we need that because there's a lot of locked doors, such as these ones here, that we're going to have to go through to get to the Thunderbird and ultimately defeat it and save the Fairy Queen and get the Triforce. So, fairy there. Speaking of fairies, there's one there. And we're going to head into this room here. We're going to see off to the side the red mail. Unfortunately, we can't get the red mail. We're going to have to get the red mail by entering this room from the left. And we can't do that until after we defeat the Thunderbird. We can push the block and it's going to allow us to either go to the north or the south. But either way we go, the south we're going to end up in that room eventually later on anyway. But we have to head north because we want to get this key. It's one of the 4 keys we need to pick up. But as you notice, the door locked behind us. The same thing would happen if we went to the south. And there's no way to get that door to reopen from either the north or the south way. So we're just going to have to forego the red armor for a while. So we take this passageway. We're going to end up back near the beginning. This room is south of where Zelda was, telling us that we need the all 8 fairies to break the seal. So I'm going to take out these enemies here. We'll see this room a few more times. Luckily, because of those bubbles in it, they won't, those Lionel Wizrobe enemies won't respawn. Bomb over here, and that's kind of a little bit hard to see, but when we passed through this room before, there was a little key under there, under the statue there. So we pick up that key, and now we can be on our way. And here we are back in that room with where Zelda was. Let's clear out some rooms over this way. We'll light these rooms up later, but they're more of those rooms with a whole bunch of water tiles, and in the middle there's those 4 blocks strategically positioned so that you can only go through that room north or south, east or west. You can't change directions in them. We just passed through right before this room, room with blue bubbles. That room is very important because one of the things is on our way to get the magic key, there's going to be a ton of rooms full of red bubbles. And if you get hit by them, well, in order to get your sword back, unless you want to waste a bunch of medicine, which not really smart because probably not going to help because you're just going to lose your sword probably in the next room with a whole bunch of those red bubbles. You're going to have to want to come back there to get your sword back. So there's the room lined up. So if you don't stop, you can walk right through without getting hit by those traps. This room looks the same, but doesn't have the traps in it. No. So back to this room again, and now we're going to head up this way again. This time, let's head into the stairway. And inside this stairway, we get another key. Woo! What? Finish off those guys. And we end up down here in the south east corner of the dungeon. You know, we don't want to defeat all these enemies because we're going to come back into this room later, and we're gonna have to push a block because we're gonna end up in the room over to the right after a passageway we're gonna go through to get another key. So we want to just leave one enemy around, so when we do come back into that room, we only have to defeat one enemy and don't have to take as much damage. So we're just clearing out the southern section of the dungeon here, and it's going to lead us back to the room where near the entrance, and you'll see the room to the north there looks very familiar. We were just in it not too long ago. Now, besides clearing out all these rooms, we just got that 5 rupees there. Clearing out all these rooms not only is just filling out the map for us and getting that 100% completion, but it's also allowing us to pick up some rupees because we want to have 50 rupees because we've got a Zelda, money of your life coming up shortly, and basically on this path, and we don't want to travel this path or go this direction first before we get those 50 rupees. Otherwise, we're losing valuable. We'd lose a valuable heart. So, and speaking of hearts, we will end up getting the final heart container, but we won't be getting that until after we defeat the Thunderbird. There's that little. There was a staircase that appeared there. That staircase is the staircase that takes us to where the magical key is. It's in one of those rooms, though, that blocks your progress. You can only go north and south if you enter from the north or the south, and only east and west if you enter from the east or the west. So, yeah, we can't, unfortunately, sequence break and skip. We're going to have to go through that a long corridor with a lot of red bubbles, so that I alluded to earlier. And this guy, unfortunately, he kind of snuck off earlier and prevented us from being able to push this block that we need to go down this passageway. That's cleaning that out. And here we are in this room here. Finally we got some enemies that aren't very threatening and hopefully can give us some hearts. That one did, was nice. Metal? I want some more money. Woohoo! And once again, we fight these quick fairies. They're comprised of many segments. The wand is really good against them because they'll hang out and they'll be kind of stuck in the fire. So we picked up another key there. That's our 4th key. So we got all the keys we need to end up getting the magical key. And of course we have the money that we need to pay Zelda. And here's the Thunder Arrow. We pick it up. It's kind of hidden neatly behind that one trap, but it makes appearance. Now to the north that's the room where where we get the red mail, or where we saw a glimpse of the red mail. And those fairy snakes are being nice. They're dropping a whole bunch of fairies. Help we fill our life. And you see we fill out quite a little bit of the dungeon so far. And now we take this passageway, and we'll end up here in the lower southeast corner. And this is to the west, or the east, of that room that I mentioned earlier. We wanted to keep one enemy alive. I said eventually we're going to have to push a block in the room here over to the west. So I said, hey, keep one enemy alive, so when we do are forced back into this room, we only have to kill one enemy. And there we go. And now we can clear out these rooms up here. This section here. Got another one of these old men patras with the fires. Sometimes these was kind of nice. Sometimes they stick away from you. They don't want to go near you. So here's a room we've been next to a whole bunch of times. We just haven't gone into it yet. So take out a whole bunch of these guys, and we're going to come back into this room. It's kind of a nice little nexus point. Yeah, I see we have a bomb blown up on the side there over to the left. The room over to the left is the room to the south of the where Zelda and the Tetrarch fairy seal were. Well, first we want to come into that into this passageway here, because we're going to take out this guy here, and this is going to put us on track to get the map. So Patras usually guard the map. Well, this one doesn't guard the map, but he guards the door that leads to the room with the map. So let's finish him off. He's one of the easy Patra varieties, the ones where the things will never rotate very far from him. So we take him out. Be careful, just stop when you get into this room, because a lot of times check out where the Lionel Wizrobes are, because sometimes if they might appear, you know, right, they'll appear like one tile away from where you are, and if you just run right into the room, you'll end up bumping into them, taking some damage. So just be cautious. You got your magic shield that will deflect their spells. So yeah, if they're not hanging out there, then you can walk in and start taking them out. So I'm gonna come back into this room later. We're gonna go through a secret passageway through the north there, walking in the wall, but we've done quite a bit so far in this episode. So now's like a good time to, you know, maybe collect our thoughts, make a quick retreat, and step outside, and we can refill our life. Let's just take out this guy. Seems let him join his friends in the afterlife. Over to the left, we're gonna get to that room eventually. You'll see that there's a heart container in there, but we got to go a different way to get that. So, but here we can just, like I said, this is a smart thing to do. We can leave Dungeon 9, and if we need more medicine, we can go up a few screens to get that medicine. Or we can farm hearts from the enemies outside here. A lot of the screens around here have those these bad enemies that are functions as the P-hats, and they drop a lot of sprites. So came out here, managed to refill my life. Now I can just do a dive back in, take out these enemies, and restart in the same room as I started in last time. Take care. Bye.